Watch this video if you want to learn how to put English on autopilot. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Hey, thank you so much for joining me on another lesson. From Monday to Friday, I post English lessons to help you become a better English speaker. So if it's your first time here, consider subscribing. Every week, there are new videos, new lessons, and a wonderful community to support your English journey. But let's get down to business. Today I want to talk to you about how to get your English on autopilot. First of all, is that even possible, Teacher Prix? How can I just automatically think English, breathe English? Is that a thing? Yes, my friends, it is possible to do it. But there are a few things you need to do, and not only do, but understand if you want to put English on autopilot. And when I say put English on autopilot, I'm not saying put perfect, amazing English on autopilot. No, that's not my intention. My goal here is to put English on autopilot in a way that whenever you have to do something in English, it just comes more naturally to you. Okay? Nice. Now, the first thing you need to understand if you want to put your English on autopilot is frequency. Is frequency important? Yes, it's very important. So, teacher, is studying every day versus studying once or twice a week, will that make a difference on my English journey, on putting English on autopilot? Yes, definitely, it will make a big difference. Now, a disclaimer. I always tell my students that a little is better than nothing. So if you don't have time and if it's impossible for you to study more, it's fine. However, I'm talking about a very specific thing here. How can you put English on autopilot? If you want to do that, then you have to follow this recommendation, okay? Now, studying every day is better. Studying every day will help you put English on autopilot. And why? We are creatures of habit. Our brain likes habit, likes routine. When you study English once or twice a week, okay, that's a routine, but it's not a strong routine. For your brain, it's more difficult to go back to this routine. It's always going to be a little bit more challenging to get back to that once or twice a week routine. When you establish a daily routine, after some time, and I'm going to talk about that, it's easier for your brain to accept that routine. And consequently, studying goes on autopilot mode and English gradually goes on autopilot mode. So if you are studying once or twice a week and you always feel like it's a battle to study English again, it's hard to go back to your exercise, it's probably that. If you start to include English in your life, in your study routine every day, you will slowly build the autopilot mode for your English skills. That's why I am establishing a routine of posting videos from Monday to Friday. And this is something interesting. Before doing that, I was having problems posting videos. It was very difficult for me because I thought, well, I will post once a week, one video per week. But then I realized that I was not following this habit because my brain was having a very difficult time to accept that once a week routine. Then I sat down and I analyzed my life and I decided that I was going to make from Monday to Friday live lessons. Now that I created this routine, it's easier for me to prepare lessons, and I am preparing lessons from Monday to Friday, 5 days a week. Why is that easier than one video per week? because I also have to edit videos. I have to edit things, create thumbnails, create the subject, create the slides. So I still need to do that. It takes me time. My brain is accepting this routine because it's a daily routine. Every day I'm doing something, every day I'm creating a new lesson. So it's easier for my brain to go on autopilot. So on Sunday, I'm already thinking about the videos that I'm gonna do on Monday and all the other days. So the brain likes routine. Our brain likes habit. Okay, and this is a long kind of habit. So, doing something 5 times a week will help my brain go on autopilot more easily than if I just do it once or twice. Our brain is lazy by nature. Our brain is designed to save energy in all kinds of situations. That's why frequency is important. But as I said, a little is better than nothing. If you can't commit to this, it's okay. But if you want to put English on autopilot, you will need to make this change. And hey, if you are enjoying this kind of lesson, hit the like button because that helps the channel, that helps the video get more views, and it also gives me an idea of what kind of lessons you enjoy more. Okay? Moving on. English around you, okay? Why is it easier for people to learn English abroad? Well, they stop their lives, they go to another country where everything around them is in English. Now, we do have some limitations when we are in our country. If you want to put English on autopilot, you need to do things in English. Everything around you needs to be in English. And that is not just about the routine itself, okay? My study routine every day. No. What other activities during your day can you do in English? Is it meditation? Is it listening to a podcast? Is it exercising? Is it reading recipes or cooking recipes, watching sports? What activities you do today that you can keep doing, but in English? You need to put everything around you in English. The more you do it, the more your English will be on autopilot. Today, my meditations are in English. When I watch videos on YouTube, they are 80%, 85% in English. Everything I do during my day is in English. I am putting English on autopilot. Every day I am practicing this. I'm making everything in English around me. So this is something you can do from wherever you are. And this will impact your results and will help you put English on autopilot or not. And I'm not just talking about gadgets. My cell phone is in English or my computer is in English. No, your actions need to be in English. Things you do during your day need to be connected to English. That's going to help you put English on autopilot. I have met many people who live abroad, but because they don't have this mentality of making English around them, like putting everything in English, they don't speak, they don't improve, because the mentality, the mindset is important. The next thing you need to do is being consistent. Yes, you need to be consistent. Now, let's suppose you make a decision of changing your habits and studying every day or 5 times a week. That's great. Now, let's suppose that you will start to change some of your activities and include English in those activities. That's amazing. Now, the third thing you need to do is be consistent. Because let's imagine you start doing the things I suggest you. And then after a month, you get exhausted because it's hard. I'm not saying the things I'm telling you here are easy. They are not easy, okay? But let's say after a month, you get tired and you stop. Your brain will be like, thank you for stopping. I was tired. I couldn't do this anymore. And consequently, you will go back to your default status. So your default status is no English. No, 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 no. But if you start making these changes and if you are consistent with these habits, then your brain will forget the default system and will start to follow the new system. But as I said, Your brain is lazy. And if you are not consistent, you will not get these results. You will not change the status. You will not change it. Your English will not go on autopilot because the key to putting English on autopilot is consistency as well as the right strategies. But without consistency, it doesn't matter if you have the right strategies, it will not work. Okay? Now, I have a personal experience to share with you. Last year, about August or September, I started to wake up at 5 a.m. Okay? I made a decision that I was going to wake up at 5 a.m. because I wanted to have more time. And I started, and it was good. But then, when I started waking up at 5 a.m., I realized that I didn't have a clear routine, a clear goal in my head of what I had to do with that time. So by December, I was not waking up at 5 a.m. anymore. I quit. And consequently, I stopped waking up early. I talked to some friends and they recommended me a book. And I read this book. And in this book, they talked about waking up at 5 a.m. or earlier and the importance of having a routine and a purpose, a goal, a clear goal in mind with what you are going to do during that time that you woke up. Okay? And I read this book in February. I finished this book in March. And since March, I am waking up at 4:45 a.m. And what changed? I established a routine. When I wake up at 4:45 a.m., I know what I have to do. I know why I have to do it. And I am consistently doing it. Now, you could think, well, maybe on Sunday you could wake up a little later. No, I need discipline. I need a habit. And to make that habit work for me, I realized that I cannot skip the Sundays or I cannot skip the Saturdays. I need to stay consistent with my schedule. Okay? Now, how is that working for me? It's working really well. I've been very productive. I'm exercising every day. I'm doing some very specific activities in the morning that I didn't have time to do before. And why is that working for me? Because I realize that my brain is lazy. And if I want to make consistent changes in my life, I need to make a consistent habit. So first I decided what the habit was. Wake up early. Then I decided what I was going to do. Bring that routine around me, change my activities, have a goal, have a clear purpose and a clear routine. And now I am being consistent. Every day I wake up at 4:45. If I am feeling sick on a day or so, I wake up, I do my routine, then I go back to bed and try to go to sleep. Now, is that cheating? No. My goal is to wake up at 4:45 and do my routine. When I'm done with my routine, I go back to sleep. It's fine. So, what am I doing here? I am trying to put my brain on autopilot, waking up at 4:45 and doing my things. And it's working. I'm already seeing results. I have bad days, but I do it anyways. And in your English journey, you are going to have bad days, but you gotta do it anyway. I hope this video helped you. And to finish, guys, I do have a homework exercise for you. What English questions do you have? Post them here in the comments and maybe they can become videos next week. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!